Yes, my people, welcome to the build-up with me, Cecil G and James B, and today we take on Newcastle here at the Emirates at 12:30. Well, here at the Emirates, we're not really at the Emirates right now, we're in the studio.
We're not far.
We're not far, we're down the road. 12:30 kick-off in the freezing cold today. It's very cold. How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling? Because it was freezing when I woke up.
Yeah, cold day, winter's upon us.
Yeah. How are you feeling towards the game, James?
Do you know what, I've been off for the last couple of days, been away.
I don't know if anyone would have known that though, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well.
But no, James.
Anyway, I've been away for a few days, so I've not really been. I've been thinking a bit about Arsenal and kind of Newcastle coming up and all that, but I didn't really clock that with West Ham going to City. We're going to talk about the fixture in a sec.
Yeah, and the
Chelsea,
table.
United, a few others. And we're playing Newcastle at home, quite literally the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
It's a really massive opportunity for Arsenal to put what happened at Liverpool behind them,
Right.
and to gain some ground. We're seeing that United are making some moves, obviously with a new manager. We're seeing that the Conte bounce at Spurs isn't quite happening. Not that they won't have a good season under it. I'm just saying it's not that instant manager bounce I think some people thought would happen.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for Arsenal to, just continue building and getting momentum for 2 hard away games. So yeah, I'm a little excited. I think last week was a damaging one against Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this. Yeah.
Yeah, you say that it was a damaging one, but this is the perfect bounce back, like you just said there. I mean, if we win, we go joint points with West Ham. It's that fourth spot. I've been speaking about it all week. That fourth spot is available. Whether Arsenal will capitalise and potentially pick up this by the end of this season, it's been another big question. But it is available, and if we go level on points with West Ham off today, I think that's possible because they've got a tough opponent today. Should we look at
the league table properly?
Yeah, let's pop the league table up and we'll get into it straight away.
You said it there. A win and we go level with West Ham, who that place will hold for 24 hours anyway. But West Ham then do go to the Etihad. You're hoping that one big thing that might happen. You're hoping is a little bit of a clawback in terms of goal difference.
Yeah.
Because we quite literally couldn't be playing a better team for it, and nor could West Ham. So you are hoping, but the big thing is getting 3 points.
10-0 incoming from Arsenal.
I doubt that, and I'm going to explain a little bit later why, because we've got a whole segment on it actually. But it's about just getting the points on the board and starting to claw back a little bit the damage from those big defeats at Liverpool and City. You can look at this and go 5th in the table with Chelsea at home, City away, Liverpool away, done. That's I think we'd have taken that beginning of the season. And do you know what? I'm probably being kind. We definitely would have taken that. So let's build on it now. Let's have Liverpool as just a bad moment, a blip, and carry on the momentum, because I do think we can do something at Old Trafford and at Everton.
You say it's a blip. Are you on this free hit talk, or you say it was just a bad performance? Because obviously a lot of fans leave, so there's a free hit. Do you?
I think it depends. Well, the Liverpool game.
Yeah, Liverpool game.
I think it depends on everyone's definition of free hit. For me, it was a free hit, but not because it's fine if we lose.
Yeah.
For me, it was a free hit because we built up good momentum.
Off the back of the run.
And Arteta was in a position where he could go and deploy the tactics he wants up against Liverpool, and see how the team do, without it massively derailing, our momentum or our season or our ambitions or anything like that. And that is what it was. We lost 4-0, and there wasn't really a great uproar about it.
Yeah.
So it kind of was that.
Well, it wasn't too much that changed. I mean, we was still in the same sort of position. So it was like, I think that's another reason as well.
If we'd gone in on bad form, we probably would have gone to a back 5. We probably look at the Man City game where we lost 5-0. But that wasn't a free hit. We had to try and do something because of the start we had. So he goes to a back 3, and he's playing with different formation, brings Odegaard into midfield. He's trying to do something clever, and we lose anyway. So I think this is a free hit for Arteta. It was a free hit in terms of him going and deploying the tactics he wants on Liverpool, and we learned that we're not ready. So it was a real lesson.
Right, well we're gonna move forward. We're gonna look at the fixtures of the weekend. Now before we go into this, I'm gonna let you guys know there was a show that we did yesterday, a brand new show, the match week preview, and we spoke to other fans around us, so a West Ham fan, Man United fan, there was a Tottenham fan in there and a Wolves fan. We got their take on Arsenal and basically the teams around us and what they're going to do today or on Sunday to capitalise and move up and down the table as well. So we'll look at the fixtures of some of those clubs that are are around us. And yeah, let's go through it, James.
Well, here we are. We're
kicking off today
with the early kickoff. Obviously, Arsenal Newcastle 12:30. I think if you win, it's a lovely fixture. Yeah. If you win and it's a convincing win, you can just go into enjoying the rest of the football. Though I will say the rest of Saturday doesn't look all that. I mean, Palace Villa should be a decent game. Brighton Leeds, maybe. I mean, again, I suppose that'll be a pretty entertaining one. But really, you're looking at Sunday. Brentford Everton should be good. Burnley Tottenham will be fascinating. Yeah. City West Ham and Chelsea United, some really good fixtures on the Sunday.
Chelsea United is probably the biggest fixture of the weekend. I think a lot of eyes will be on. But like you said, we're kicking it off today, which is always nice. I think our track record of morning kickoffs haven't always been great.
Shocking.
Yeah. Obviously, you went to City as well. So you know. But our most recent one, we did win, and again, we got to kick back, enjoy the weekend, no pressure on us.
What was our last 12:30 kickoff?
We kicked back. Was it? No, it wasn't then.
I think it was City. I think we've had a few 3 o'clock.
No, I think there was. Oh no, I'm thinking it was a Friday. It was the start of the week. It was a Friday. It wasn't,
you're
sorry,
right.
Apologies. It wasn't a morning. But it was a Friday.
No, but you're right. It was the first fixture of the weekend. And it was Villa. Yeah. God, I forgot about that.
Which is what I enjoyed, because I got to enjoy the weekend and see what other teams do. But today hopefully we kick it off. I think Newcastle is a team that we can capitalise on and get the win and get the points on the board.
Let's hope. Maybe they'll have that manager bounce. But some interesting fixtures. I think Sunday looks really good.
Okay. Really good. I'm looking forward to the games this Sunday, and you just seen the fixtures there now. Big question of the weekend. Big question. I made it a big question.
I thought it was a good question.
Actually, wait. What am I talking about? Thank you, James. It was your question. It was your question.
We discussed it.
About Newcastle and Arsenal. Who would win the Premier League first? Now, I went out into the public. Instead of just doing it around the Emirates Stadium, I went round to local businesses around the stadium in Finsbury Park and Arsenal, and got to hear people's thoughts on who they think will win the Premier League first. Obviously, Newcastle with their new billion-dollar owners or billion-pound owners, and then obviously Arsenal with this new process. Who will win it first? Let's hear what they had to say before I get James's take. Who will win the Premier League first? Newcastle or Arsenal? Obviously, Newcastle got new owners. They're not doing very well so far, but people are saying once they put their money in, they can win the Premier League. I want to ask you, who do you think will win the Premier League first? Arsenal with Arteta or Newcastle?
Arsenal, most definitely. Arsenal, without a doubt, because it's the way I see it is they're gonna buy superstars, and in my opinion that doesn't work. You know,
we saw that with United.
Exactly. What Arteta is doing is perfect for me. You know, he's buying young players and he's not buying superstars and hoping to win, because it just doesn't work like that. You know.
Arsenal, obviously.
Okay, fair enough.
Arsenal. Because Arsenal's Arsenal, and I feel like coming closer to the Premier League, they're really going to come together as a team. So I have high hopes for them.
Arsenal, okay, perfect.
Easy, Arsenal, of course. We got Saka and Smith Rowe.
Okay.
Boy, Newcastle still.
Newcastle, with their rich owners.
Yeah, with the money. The same thing happened at Chelsea, Man City. So, boy.
So that's what the people have to say in the town, in the streets, and in their local businesses. We'll get your thoughts as well, and obviously the fallout from that will be in the comments. So you guys, let us know your thoughts on that as well. Let me ask James actually.
Who's holding the Premier League first?
But do you know what? I asked Turkish yesterday in our new show, and he goes, I don't want to answer that. And then you know, he didn't want to answer, but he actually did. In the end, he was like, I don't answer, and then he kind of went on to say, like, look, Chelsea kind of proved that they did it with their rich owner once they came in. Then he was like, Chelsea's not the best example, so then he said went to Man City, and he said if they follow the blueprint, Newcastle, it could be that. Don't get me wrong, it's going to take a lot of time. They might not even survive this season, but it is a question to ask. A lot of people are seeing, obviously, Arteta's process kind of coming together slowly. And we're on the trajectory, I wouldn't say to win the league yet, but there's possibilities of it. So what do you think? Who will win the Premier League first? Or is it too early to even talk about that sort of question?
Having money isn't the answer anymore like it was before. And what I mean, when Chelsea got money, when City got their money, it was a very different Premier League. But City didn't didn't have money. They brought in an unbelievable system. The Barcelona guys, everything was built for Pep Guardiola. They then brought in the best manager in the world. Did I use the example a couple of weeks ago when we were playing Villa? That they've spent 350 million or something since coming into the Premier League. And where's it got them? I think 11th at best.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, that's a lot of money they've spent, and they're really struggling to crack the top 10. So I think there's a long way for Newcastle to go. Having said that, what I can envisage is almost the next 10 years Arsenal being in the top 4, out the top 4, couple 6th, 7th, back in the top 4, maybe the odd season when they finish 3rd or 2nd, and in that time Newcastle are spending until they get it right.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I almost think if you did an average position of the next 10 years, Arsenal would be higher than Newcastle, but when you got that kind of money, they're going to win the Premier League at some point.
I think that's the catalyst there, James. Is the wealth of their owners is surpasses a lot, well, everyone in the Premier League. So that might be the difference, but it's still going to take a lot of time, regardless, because they're not. It's going to take a lot of time. The players that they're interested in signing in aren't the superstars straight away,
which is the right way to go.
Which exactly that. So and I think it's going to take a lot of time to get the respect and
they need to stay up
and some trophies. And
but you know, it might all start from today. Manager bounce and all that. So
100%. I'm going to take some comments before we go to the next section. And Nat Z says, "Did he just say buying superstars don't work? Tell yourself that." It's Max, as in that was from the clip. It's Max. He says Newcastle will win it before us. Okay, it's interesting. It's an interesting take. Marcus Yard says, bless up Cecil and James Stats. Thank you very much, and bless up to everyone watching and listening today. Let's go into the breakdown section of the show now. James is going to look at positional play, and he did before we started. He was like, he said positional play, and I was like, oh, that kind of rings a bell from when I was playing, but I'm sure it's changed massively because now fullbacks are now wingers nowadays. So the game has completely advanced and progressed since I was playing. But positional play was, to me, was playing in the right thirds, playing playing when you could keep the ball, when you could not keep the ball.
I've got a bit of a smile on my face because what I'm about to say is either genius or
it's genius.
Complete load of waffle.
No, it's genius.
Well, no. And guys interact with us, talk to us about it, because I've been trying to. I've seen some stats going around the last week, and I've been trying to understand what it is Arsenal are trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think for the last few weeks we've been talking about positional play. We've been talking about the Pep Guardiola way. I think with Ralph Rangnick coming as well at Man United, people are talking about kind of the fathers of Gegenpress and all this. And Guardiola, learning from Bielsa, I think, and Johan Cruyff and all these other greats of the game, deployed the system of positional play. Arteta worked for him. I think is trying to bring it to Arsenal. Now, what I've got on screen is not just some made-up grid. This is quite literally the grid. If you type positional play, gridded football pitch, this is what everything. And we've all seen that famous Thierry Henry analysis where he said that Guardiola would split the pitch into grids, and he would teach the side how to go from one end to the other. But once they got to the final third, it was on them to deliver. Now, there are a couple kind of, from a theory perspective, a couple of theoretical things of positional play that are important to understand. Firstly, in these grids, you never have more than 3 players on the same, horizontal line, part of the grid, and you never have more than 2 vertically either. The idea is that players need to understand where they need to be in relation to where their teammates,
their counterparts,
whoever they're combining with in certain areas of the pitch, where they're going to be. And I think you can see that in the way Arsenal try to do things sometimes. If I just play this along, let's speed that up a little bit as I'm messing up my notes. Good stuff, James. Right. If I put this in and I put the Arsenal players onto the pitch.
Here we go.
So we've had a 4-4-2 of late with Lacazette and Aubameyang up top. I put in Tierney for Tavares, but it's all the same.
Before you press play as well, does it have to? It has to start with playing out the back. Am I correct or not? Or can they go long? Or is it because we always play out from the back, even at times where I think, especially against Liverpool, I didn't think we needed to. I think Arteta always is assertive on saying we have to play from the back. And for positional play, for me, you said there, it's playing in specific from the back and then letting the strikers do what they want in the final third. Surely it has to start from the back?
I think it's about ball retention. So if you can go long and keep it, that's the most efficient way to get up the pitch. And that is why players like Ederson, Alisson, Ramsdale always go for more than you think they're going to go for. Even Ramsdale, who's cost half what they cost, people were talking about the price we paid, because that's ultimately what it costs. Ball retention's a massive thing in the game now. So whether you go short or long, I think that's what it's really about. When you look at Arsenal's 4-4-2, it's not really a 4-4-2 we're playing, because we just hit play and we start moving these players into zones. Right. So Ben White's on the ball. You're starting to see a little bit of how it kind of works. You've got, Tomiyasu's more of an inverted fullback, so he comes inside. White will be quite central, Gabriel going left. Tierney will bomb right up the pitch. We've seen Lokonga do the Xhaka role, where he's having to drift wide to get the ball. Partey will almost be a lone central midfielder. Smith Rowe comes inside. Lacazette drifts right to help Saka, who's holding the width. Now, if I just play this along a little bit more, what it means is you get situations like this where the whole point of positional play is understanding where everyone's going to be. So if Tomiyasu comes out wide, the idea is that Bukayo Saka should be moving inside into that space, because you're creating overload, you're creating triangles, and then Lacazette might drop wide to be the overlap or whatever. Let's move them back into their positions now. I think Arsenal, from applying this on the pitch positionally, actually do it quite well. Like, I think we all sit and we can see it.
Yeah.
We can understand what they're trying to do. We can understand why Tomiyasu was brought in. We can understand why we brought in two fullbacks like Tomiyasu and Nuno Tavares, who are both fitted, because they need to be able to play in lots of different areas of the pitch. But one of the issues I've got, and why I think Arsenal have been struggling for goals of late, and I'm going to show a graphic explaining what I mean by this in a bit, is that I think Arsenal get into situations where if we just bring this forward, and Bukayo Saka's got the ball in this position. Now we've put an opposition back four. Often they might double up on Bukayo Saka. Now I don't want to be harsh about our youngsters, because I think they are terrific prospects.
It's the quality of I think you're gonna edge towards, because I don't know if it is, but I think you see City do it, and I now know exactly what you're trying to depict to the people listening and watching. The quality that Man City do it, they know where their players are. It's so precise. With Arsenal, as much as they're trying to do it, I see it break down a lot, and I hope I'm right in what I'm saying here.
That is literally that's exactly where I'm trying to go with this. Is this idea that I think the principles are right. Yeah. But I think why, and actually, let's ask the big question: why am I talking about this now? Because there's no better team to play in the league to prove that. Yeah. We might not be at the level of other teams who are trying to do it, but we're not far off. Like we can still pepper your Newcastles, your Norwiches, whatever. Now, we didn't pepper Norwich. We beat them. We were good on the day, but it was only 1-0. Watford only 1-0. Yeah. Burnley only 1-0. Arsenal need to do something a bit more convincing today. Now, looking back at the tactical plan again, so we have situations. How many times have we seen this? Saka on the ball, one-on-one, looking up. Yeah. And what does he do?
Go back.
Back to Tomiyasu.
Recent as well, many times.
It always goes back to Tomiyasu. Now, what I want to see more of, if we just bring it back to Saka, is actually Tomiyasu overlapping, getting beyond, asking a different question. Or Lacazette maybe making runs in beyond. We don't really have enough of that in the game. In our game, in what we're trying to do. I think it's a bit too, if it's not worked, we go again and we try and rebuild. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because if we just have a look at these numbers here, this first one, positional play, is it working? Well, Arsenal ranked really poorly. Goals in the league, we ranked 14th. Our XG difference is 16th. 16th, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's got
we ranked 12th for passes, 13th for touches, and 12th for big chances missed. That in itself is a worry. But it's not all doom and gloom, because if I move on to these set of stats here, Arsenal ranked 6th for completed live ball passes that led to a shot, behind Chelsea, Everton, City, United and Liverpool. You're in good company there. Okay, Everton, United not having great seasons, but still. As well as ranking 6th for shot creating actions, behind the same 5 except West Ham for Everton. So the amount of actions that are leading to shots, the amount of completed live ball passes that are leading to shots, we're up there. Yeah. Which shows that the principles of what we're trying to do for positional play are working.
There, yeah.
But then, and this is to kind of round off.
I was saying we're like this is the positive to this is the negative. This is right. Good. We're giving the full picture, the full argument, which I love.
So James, I'm sitting here, I'm going, okay, well those numbers look quite good, but the raw numbers of shots and goals don't look great. So I'm thinking, well, Where is it breaking down? And this is where I had a bit of a moment, a realization, like a light bulb moment. That for all the money we spent, 150 million in the summer, the 75 million last summer, it's still not enough. Not for what we're trying to do. Because Man City went 1-0 down to PSG the other day, and their inverted wing back, Kyle Walker, who slots into the back three, does what Tomiyasu does, who's passing, who's threading balls in behind to Gabriel Jesus, who's that last line, that recovery defender. He's suddenly getting beyond as the furthest man up the pitch and getting balls into the box. He's showing a different element to his role. I'm seeing Bernardo Silva, who's typically a more central player, pulling off to the back post as a left winger. I'm seeing Gabriel Jesus getting goals in the box as a striker, but has been playing as a right winger himself for a lot this season. I'm seeing Cancelo, a left back who's predominantly a right back, playing Kevin De Bruyne outside the ball passes, Raheem Sterling, and City are getting goals. They are so complete in every area of the pitch. All these players can, if plan A doesn't work, move on to something else. Move on to a different skill set. So when I pointed out Tomiyasu there in the analysis, we have seen a good side to his game, winning his aerial duels, being athletically gifted defensively, but he's not showing that ability to get him beyond. And it might mean that we need to go and get another £50 million fullback. It might mean that we need to get, another 2 wingers.
I hear this. Sorry, we're gonna have an in-house discussion now because my brain's going. It's lightning right now, guys.
So
do enjoy
what I'm trying to say here.
But here, what I'm gonna try and ask you then. So you saying the manager is actually more advanced and we need better players? So it's not on the manager. It's more on the players.
He's got to do better. Sorry, go on.
No, that's kind of the question. Because in theory, it's a defense towards Arteta here, saying that like he's trying to implement something that it works because we've seen it with City, but right now, and I feel this as well at times, the quality is not there from the players to execute this formula. So you saying again, is it more to the players? Is it more that the manager has something that works, but we can't? The quality is not there because you say it works with City.
I think he's put in the absolute basics for it so far,
right?
And it's on the manager to go in and get what he can, the best he can out of the team. Now, Thomas Tuchel, I might be wrong, but at Dortmund, I believe he played a back 4 most of the time. I think for PSG he did a time. But he's come to Chelsea, went with a back 3 because it got the best out of their side. Jurgen Klopp, predominantly at Dortmund, played a 4-2-3-1. Came to Liverpool, no real natural number 10s, kind of Coutinho, adapted to the Premier League and went for a more robust midfield 3. And deployed his gegenpress on a different system. Now, I need to see Arteta adapting a little bit more to what he's got. Now, you can say he's doing that with Lacazette playing up front, 4-4-2, all that. But for sure, I don't think he's still quite got what he wants to do this properly. Now, we saw Aubameyang really struggle at Anfield because the game wasn't for him to get him beyond. He needed to do more coming short, but he's not got that skill set. He's not got a secondary skill set to call upon. And if I'm being really harsh on our youngsters, we love Emil Smith-Rowe, but could you see Smith-Rowe dropping to the right wing and being as effective? No.
Doing like a De Bruyne sort of from a City, but he's.
In fact, I see him going to the right wing and being completely nullified, void of ideas. So I think the point I'm trying to make, look at Bayern Munich, Joshua Kimmich, can play right back, can play central midfield, can play right wing back. He's defensively gifted, he's very good on the ball. Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané can play both wings.
Sides.
I've just got a list of some of the fullbacks here. I'm not trying to beat on our fullbacks. So I think they've got terrific potential and they're young and they'll improve. But Kyle Walker, Trent, Reece James, Cancelo, look what they can do from defensive areas when the front 3 aren't delivering. Look what they can bring to their sides going forward.
The only argument I can give to it is they've had Tierney, they've had more time with their manager, with respective clubs. So, and we not to say Tomiyasu won't be that sort of player that we're mentioning now.
It's not even about Tomiyasu really. I think it's about because Tomiyasu has got a varied skill set in my opinion, and I really like him. This is not a criticism. I think I'm just looking at the team and saying the reason why we rank highly for the build-up things, the things that look pretty on paper, but ultimately the raw numbers are goals, XG, big chances. We rank low. It's because ultimately we don't have the diversity in the side, the diversity of skill sets to be a bit more unpredictable.
Yeah.
What I need to see from Arsenal against Newcastle today is a different element.
Okay.
Which is why when you go into spotlight, my spotlight is on players like Tomiyasu.
Interesting. James, I like... Guys, sorry, we did really speak on there, and I don't think it was waffle when you said it's going to be rather complete. It's not that it's not genius, but it's your perspective, and I think it's definitely right when it comes to positional play.
Do you know what it is? I'm going to come real with you, Cecil.
Go on.
I don't fully get it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to explain something I don't fully understand, and so I can kind of see what Arsenal are trying to do, and I'm trying to explain it. And I know that the system we're deploying and the football we play is a big reason why we're not scoring more goals. But I don't quite get why that is. I don't get, and I think I put it down to players having a narrowed skill set.
Yeah, and
I think it's that.
Do you know what? And in my sense, because I haven't got the answers either. I don't know the full answer. But for people to break it down simply is when we go and watch Arsenal, sometimes people will be like, it seems like Arteta's run out of ideas. He hasn't got a plan B. I've said it many a times. I criticised him for it. It feels like when I was playing positional play, to me, it's passing patterns. All week, this is the way we're going to attack. We're going to play out from the back. When this person gets the ball, you need to be here. When this you need to be here. Your touch needs to go around the corner here. That's what we used to train. But once that gets figured out by the opponent team, the opposition team, that's when you start to struggle because you're running out of ideas. And I think we suffer from that at times, the Arsenal. So that's kind of just a quickly way of breaking that down quickly. I'm going to go to the comments as well now before we move on.
Well, Reece has called me James Guardiola, so I think he liked it.
I like that. I'm going to quickly just say as well, FTBL, big up there in the comments as well. Say, what's good, lads? We're good today. We're excited for today's game. Big up FTBL always. Mark T with a super chat says, looking forward to today. Oh, that just absolutely disappeared. Looking forward to today. Proud of what the team are doing at the moment. Before the Liverpool loss, which was expected, we were top in the league since September. That was a stat you read out, actually. I think you said you read that stat saying if you nullify or take out the first 3 games, we'd be top because of form. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
We all love the from match week 4 league table. We look really good in that.
AMR. Amar Nail says 5 years ago Liverpool or LFC weren't in the elite category. Very true. Now they are. My point is Arsenal are in a phase where Liverpool were once before. There is a pathway to elite status. We can see that. I for one am not worried. I like that comment. I do like that comment. Reece Harvey says, James, this is amazing. I can't lie. FTBL says AFTV, the greater than sign Sky Sports. Come on. Go on.
I'll take that. No, thanks. No, I've been reading through the comments and there's some nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like to just be honest when I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I think we've got a good grasp of that. I'd love to sit with Pep and
imagine
Mikel Arteta and discuss it.
Mulu C says AFTV is on another level. Thank you so much. And Shref again with a super chat. Big up Shref. We have a good squad, but we need a mature player to support Partey in the midfield. To be honest, I feel we need to play Martinelli as a striker. Aubameyang past his prime. Big conversations to be had today. And the last super chat quickly here, Steve Sousa says, James just said we are a very limited team, and if what we are skilled at doesn't work, we have no other options and are dead.
That is exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think
spot. That's it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. This is what we're trying to do. You can see it. You can see it on paper. When a shit Spurs team turn up and Villa aren't at it, you're going to put 3 past them in the first half. But ultimately, when it doesn't work, we don't have that ability to go, all right, Tommy, you've done your bit there. Now let's see your other.
Do you know what?
Let's see the other side of you.
Before we go to the box spots clip, I think this is very clear in the Liverpool game as well. First half, I think that was implementing Arteta was deploying his plan. It was all good. People keep saying the spat between them massively changed the game. I actually think because in at half time, Liverpool found us out and said, listen, this is the way to counter what they're doing and win the game. We didn't have an answer for that. So for me, that's kind of where we lost it. And again, it's Arsenal running out of ideas.
But with Trent Alexander-Arnold in that game.
Yeah.
It sounds like picking on Tomiyasu. I'm not. I think fullback's just a really good example.
I was going to say because
I love Tommy. I love Tommy. Like he's a very good player, and he fits what Arteta needs him to be. I actually think long term he's going to be a centre back for us. But I watched Trent in that game. Great ball for the goal with that cross.
It was
one moment where
very good ball. Yeah, very good.
There was a moment where he comes inside onto his left foot and forces a great save out of Ramsdale.
Yeah.
But then his signature move is running in beyond, overlapping.
Yeah.
And that whipped right-footed ball into the box. So you've kind of got set pieces, dead ball, central areas and wide areas that he's a threat from. So how do you plan to stop a player like Trent? And this is kind of what. And Reece, oh my God, Reece James, what a player!
Oh, he's been.
And this is my point. I'm looking at Arsenal, and I'm thinking, for all the talent we've got, it ain't. It's why I like Odegaard, because I actually think he does have a little bit more unpredictability about him. Or we've not seen it of late. So why I like Martinelli and Pepe. So I'm not ready to write them off, because I think they are a bit more. Are they going to go inside, outside? They can beat you for pace, power. So yeah, I actually hope we see them playing today.
I hear what you're saying. I think again it comes with time as well. We've got to remember Thomas is still a new signing, but that unpredictability.
I mean, by the way, I mean Tierney too. So everyone knows I love Tierney, but how many times have we seen the push on the ball, drop the shoulder and go?
Right, yeah.
And it's like what he's gonna do.
Sometimes you can't stop that, but it'll be nice to have a different option from him.
We've got some very talented players. It's not about how good they are, what they do best. What's our plan B? What's our next thing? So we'll see today if Arsenal throw something up, because I don't think Newcastle will be easy to break down.
Okay, Stephen Lloyd says Arteta more experienced than most managers in the English Premier League. Save Klopp, Pep and Rodgers. Arteta more experienced than most managers in the Premier League. Save Klopp. Okay, Stephen, I'm going to be honest.
Maybe in terms of time spent in the league.
Except Klopp.
Yeah, maybe accept. I don't know. Okay. Well, let us know, Stephen, what you meant by that, and I'll read it out. But let's go into my spotlight before we go into the box-to-box clip. Apologies to production. Let's go into my spotlight. So my spotlight today, the spotlight on, for me, after you brought up the stats of our attacking, is Aubameyang. I'm going to be honest. I know Turkish always says it's Aubameyang week in, week out. I'm not always with that same tune, but today is very much on him. I do want him to definitely get some goals, step up. I think Newcastle you should be scoring against anyway, but we've got to see a lot from him. He's our captain, and for this, for the continued run, obviously I know we lost to Liverpool. We can improve on that. We need a captain and an experienced player to step up. I really need to see the experienced player step up, and he is the main one. So Aubameyang for me is your spotlight, and you said Tomiyasu today. Yeah, is that right? That's what you just said before. You said a lot of Tomiyasu. What's your problem, James?
Man. No, because I like him. I do. I like him a lot. It's not about Tomiyasu. It's about what he represents, which is. But it's that concept of I need to see players show me something different today to what we've seen them do over the last 2 months.
Okay.
We've seen if we come out today and Tavares is bombed up and down, but I don't know, it's not a good example. Okay. Alright. If Aubameyang scores, but it's like a tap in, Tomiyasu wins his aerial duels, but not much more. Smith Rowe, some nice pass and move central areas, whatever. Don't get me wrong, that'll all be good. But I want to see Saka go outside. I want to see him go inside. I want to see Tomiyasu overlap. I want to see Aubameyang come short. I want to see us mixing it up. I don't want to see Partey just distributing from deep. Drive as well. Show something else. I need this Arsenal side to start showing teams that we've got other ways. And I got really encouraged not long ago when we started scoring goals from set pieces. Yeah. So yes, another route to goal. Good.
And then we missed 2 penalties.
True. Now I just need to see it on the pitch, on the ball.
Okay. In open play, yeah.
So
I agree.
spotlights on a load of them, quite frankly.
Okay, let's go into the box-to-box clip. Turkey spoke with a Newcastle fan this week, Matty from the Magpies TV. Let's see what he had to say.
Let's talk about this season so far and the fact you haven't won a game, knocked out of the League Cup to Burnley, I believe, at home as well.
Counties, aye.
Is this season a write-off? Is the bare minimum you want is to stay in the league?
I would snap your hand off now for 17th, just so we can secure Premier League football. So we're there, and then next summer, the rebuild can happen.
Yeah.
The new Newcastle can happen next summer, where we get players through the door, because the January window is going to be hard to sign players anyway, isn't it? Especially if we're in a relegation mess, it's going to be even harder. But normally with clubs and stuff, it's difficult to sign the best players in January. The summer's where it happens. The summer's where your pre-season is. Embed everyone. So we need to make sure we stay in the league, because it's no good being the richest club in the world, but being in the Championship, innit? Like, we'll probably come straight back up, but that means that it's 2 rebuild jobs.
Yeah.
You'd have to get a squad to get up, and you'd have to get a squad to stay up, and a squad to then compete for top 4 and stuff. So it just makes the process a lot longer and a lot harder. So for this season, I just want to stay up. Just want to stay up. FA Cup run would be unreal, lovely. Something we haven't had in years. But the priority is definitely Premier League survival. And this season so far, we are the only team not to win a league game.
Norwich lost a couple.
And not just in the Premier League, the whole English tiers. 92 teams, Newcastle are the only one without a win. So let's hope that starts this weekend, mate.
Let's hope not. We need the 3 points after what we went through at Anfield the other day.
Yeah.
So please, let it go for another weekend and start next week.
We need it more than you, bro. We need it more than you.
So that's it from Matty there with Turkish in Box of Box. So make sure you guys check out that video. Again, we should be confident for today's game. And Newcastle's expectations, I think they're going to want to stay in the Premier League this season. I think that's their main goal, for the rich owners to kind of start taking over and implementing what they've got.
Need to impress today.
They have to. It's only we missed out fun facts. I'm not going to read through a load of them, but we haven't ever lost to a team at the bottom of the starting at the bottom of the Premier League. So today, obviously, Arteta could potentially break that record.
So I remember last season.
The Burnley
Arsenal haven't lost at home to Burnley since 253 BC.
We lost.
Full time, Arsenal 0, Burnley 1. You're thinking you are joking. You are joking. Mikel Arteta.
I know, he broke so many records in the wrong way last season. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Honestly, Arsenal have never been relegated. End of this season.
And on top of that as well, obviously, players might be aware, Newcastle haven't won a game this season yet. 6 draws, 6 losses.
Oh, here's another one. Bloody hell.
You might break that one. As well.
You know what? That one day Newcastle will win the Premier League and they'll go, it all started with that first win under their new ownership at the Emirates. Eddie Howe making his managerial day.
Yeah, Davey, because he'll be on this. Oh, that's another thing as well. I spoke about in the preview show. Eddie Howe will be in the dugout for this game. First game, he's going to be in the dugout. Same with Ralph Rangnick as well. When for Man United, he'll be there when we play them as well.
Although I've heard that might not be the case. It's not quite as advanced. As in, they are going to get him, but I don't think it's as. I think there's still an expectation Carrick will run the team.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I to be fair, I thought it would be quite quick. I think he might be there, but may not be in the dugout like Eddie Howe will be today. So that's there's some quick facts for you. Quickly, now time for my favourite part of the show. Just gonna get the track up. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for. See, I added a little. I like that. Yeah, Danger Man. So my Danger Man today, Saint Maximin, Alan Saint Maximin. You'll be seeing his stats coming up on the screen now. For me, listen, they've scored a lot of goals, Newcastle. Let's be real. Yeah, we've conceded. No, they've conceded the most, but they've also scored more than us. And I want to go through the stats here. He's age 24, still young. I would like him at Arsenal, I'm going to be completely honest. Played 12 matches. He played left mid in his last game, but he also plays second striker. He has played up front as well for Newcastle. Very versatile. We spoke about players offering different facets to their game. He is one man that can change a game. Has different abilities from the left, right, second striker.
This is really good stuff, but I just always get thrown off by your bloody song.
Yeah, I know, you're looking at me like, for fuck's sake.
Turkish is in the building, he had a little laugh as well.
And just quickly, before the last little stats there, season goals, 3 goals and 3 assists. Good numbers. Do you know what?
He's a great player. You're spot on to he's the guy.
He's the guy. Create something out of nothing. Something I expected Pepe to do at Arsenal, but Saint Maximin is definitely the guy that can do that.
Do you know what I love about him a little bit? This might not be fair. I'm kind of joking, playing around here, but he's like the anti-positional play. And what I mean by that, he is. I do what I want when I want. Don't care where everyone is. I'm here to just turn up and entertain.
I love that.
He's such an old school baller, and I love it.
Yeah,
like
I love that.
He's great. Don't get me wrong. You could take what he's got and harness it, and he'd be great for a City or an Arsenal or whatever.
Do you know what? Newcastle have a lot of players that been through the system that kind of that have that capabilities. Nara Ranger, Hassan Ben Arfa, I mean Pepe Cisse, like all these
Ben
players,
Arfa, what a player.
like they have those flary moments and can change a game, and I rate the culture of Newcastle for that. But hopefully we can. I know I'd like to sign him. I said this yesterday.
I love him.
With
Yeah.
Newcastle. I think he's a great player. But yeah, so that's it for my danger man, and we are slowly coming towards the end of the show. I just want to pop up one last touch and little nod to Mr. Joe Willock returning today to the Emirates for the first time in a Newcastle shirt. I'm hearing that he's likely going to start. So yeah, it'll be nice. I think he'll get a nice warm reception. I think he hasn't started season too great for them, obviously, compared to his loan spell last season, but a little nod to him. It'd be good to have him back at the Emirates. James, happy to see him return today. And were you sad when he went there?
I really love players of the profile of Joe Willock, like goals in them, lots of athleticism. He's neat on the ball. He's neater on the ball than people think he is, actually. But I am kind of, not to be rude, I'm glad we cashed in and moved him on. I think he wasn't going to maintain the form he had at the end of last season. And I don't think it was actually going to fit what we were trying to do. But I like him as a player, and I wish him all the best. And yeah, I hope he plays terribly today, but... I wish him all the best.
Just to round off now, thank you to Jimmy for the super chat as well. He's got a nice little emoji waving in the flag there. I don't know if I've missed any last super chats, but I think that is it. That's all for the super chats as well. And I want to say thank you to everyone listening and watching today. And thank you. Make sure you hit a like before you go. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going straight.
And for the love of support, I just want to chuck that in there as well, because I think
I've got to say thank you. Thank you to them all, and thank you for everyone supporting. But make sure you guys check out the starting 11. And also, there's a competition with AFTV and FTBL. Go and enter. You can win a PS5. Make sure you go do that, and make sure you go check out AFTVstore.com for all your Black Friday deals. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Build Up. Peace.